How's it going, everybody? Rob right here today, and we are back with your Toledo Underdogs in our Underdogs to Champion series here for off-season number 2, and a season where we again were worst in the NHL, but we did see some good improvement from quite a few of our players. And as I asked at the end of the last one and put it in the comments, we have an off-season focus for some of these guys. So we're getting a couple pluses. I think it's a +2 really is the max to most of these players' stats. So I'll go through player by player and tell you what I have changed. Kyler Yamamoto, I told him to be more of a pass-first player. One of the things I've noticed is he's shooting, a good amount. I want him to pass a lot more. Like that 46 assists, I want him to be just dishing the puck a ton. And he's listed as a two-way forward, but I mean, look at the passing, the offensive awareness is there. The shot just isn't. So I don't want him to focus on growing Sense's offensive awareness or passing or get better defensively because he's already adequate defensively. I said, why don't you just focus on becoming a more frequent passer in the offensive zone? Then when we get to Brad Lambert, he's got the offensive awareness, he's got a good shot, and he's got a good defensive awareness, but that puck skills category is just really lacking. So I wanted to get the up in passing, but the only thing you can do is called skill training, and it's +2 to all puck skills. So he's going to get a +2 to deking, hand-to-eye passing, and puck control. That'll make him pretty dominant as a low elite center at just 22, hoping that he grows tremendously for us. Then Philip Zadina, I had him improve his defensive awareness. That defensive awareness down at 82. I'd like to see it get a little bit better, especially because he's such a dominant playmaker, right? We changed him from a sniper to a playmaker. I mean, those puck skills are absolutely out of this world. The offensive awareness is pretty good. If he can improve that defensive awareness at all, I think he's just going to become a top 6 beast and a staple for years to come. Then we get to the two young Amerks. We've got Isaac Rozan and Yuri Kulik. Pretty clearly, guys, I told them both to up their defensive awareness. I mean, 79 for Isaac Rozan. Although his offensive awareness and passing aren't great for a playmaker, that defense is just terrible. And then same thing with Yuri Kulik, right? These guys have the offensive talent, but they really do need to focus defensively, especially Kulik here, right? So 85 stick checking is not bad, but 77 defensive awareness for a guy that I want on my second line just isn't really the move for us here. And then I also told Nolan Foote to improve his defensive awareness. Same story as the two young Amerks. Well, now I guess they're underdogs. So, but yeah, just 75 defensive awareness is not going to cut it in the NHL. These guys have enough to be contributors, right, with their puck skills and their shot and their offensive awareness. But it's just not, it's not enough, right? For an NHLer to have below 80 defensive awareness. Then we're going to take a look at the defensemen. You guys did comment and mention that Addison should get something defenses and Lohrei should get something offensive. I agree. Kalen Addison, I am asking him to improve his defensive awareness. Passing is fine. The offensive awareness is probably good enough. And then if I can just turn him into a defensive beast as an offensive defenseman, I'll be very happy with that. And then Mason Lohrei, I actually did the same thing and asked him to improve his puck skills. Those puck skills down in the mid-70s are just woeful. Defensively, he's fine. The offensive awareness isn't great, but those puck skills are just downright atrocious, especially for a guy that I'm thinking is going to be one of our top 2 defensemen here for the next little while. Honestly, a guy like Ryan Johnson might just be the better guy to have here. Johnson, I gave him offensive awareness training, and you can see he's already a good enough passer with 85 passing. If he can get that offensive awareness up, I think we got a really good puck-moving two-way defenseman on our hands here. And then finally, I was just messing around with it, and we can ask Daniil Tarasov to improve something. I told him to improve his reflexes. Really, it's his reflexes or puck control. I'd probably lean, I don't know. Reflexes are the glove and the stick and the 5-hole. That's like the actual saving ability versus puck control, which is poke check and recovery and things that are important, I think, for sure, like rebound control. And I just think that the more impactful category is reflexes. So I don't really know what makes a goalie tick. We did the test on the channel a few years ago back in NHL 21. It's been 4 years now. It's been a long time. So that's crazy. But guys, more importantly, we've got the draft lottery coming up. You guys know we've got a couple picks in the first round, including our own pick here, Toledo Underdogs, projected to be number 4. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but we have the number 1 odds at the number 1 overall pick would be great to get it. We've got the Jets and the Panthers, so we will actively be rooting against them. Not to mention we've got 2 seconds, a third, and 2 fourths. So I'm very much looking forward to the draft this season, guys. And free agency, maybe there's some 80 overall defensemen, because that's really where I see the weakest part of this team. If you just kind of reassess our team before we head into next season, we've got, oh God, who the kid we drafted from the, I think it's from the QMJHL in the system here. View the contracts. I gave him an ELC. Forwards in the system. Martoni here. He's up to an 80 overall. And you can see Geeky, who we also, I believe, signed last season. And then just let him grow down in the AHL. I'd love to talk to him to get his defensive awareness up. I don't think we can talk to Martoni, but he's well-rounded as is. He's ready to come up next season. Tulio even could come up and be a contributor. And then we've got Ostlin and Hellenius potentially waiting in the wings. Same thing with Anton Wahlberg here. Noichev, maybe. Nadeau, maybe, right? Some of those guys that are looking less likely to hit, right? But we've got plenty of forwards, it feels like, to come up and really help out the roster. When you look at the blue line, there's really nobody here that has potentials. Rye is probably the best guy we got. Johnson, and we need to sign a few defensemen. If it means letting Cal Clegg walk, which I'm not upset about, just taking the hit on Nizov's contract, guys, cap hit's not going to be an issue for us for years. We're hoping to get one of those 2 franchise guys. Getting the first overall pick isn't the key this year. It's staying in the top 2 is the key for the draft. Sign some defensemen, pair the franchise with Martoni, and all of a sudden I think we have a really, really solid looking roster that, maybe we can push for the playoffs rather than a bottom of the league, even if we don't make it next year. But guys, let's go ahead, see how that lottery shakes out. So I am jumping back in real quick. Just about a week or so later, the AHL season is over, and the Amherst were eliminated by the Marlies. So I was able to actually talk to all the AHL players and tell them what I want them to focus on. So Ostlin, Geeky, Tulio, Hellenius, they all got a defensive awareness talk. Anton Wahlberg got an offensive awareness talk, and then goaltender Scott Rotzloff, who actually just signed his ELC IRL. I asked him to work on his reflexes, so we hopefully should see a lot of growth from the young guys in categories where it's necessary, and who knows, maybe next year, we can see a lot of progression from the team. But let's get to that draft lottery. One thing to note is Winnipeg did advance, but Florida, actually, you guys can stay right here with me. Let's see. Does Florida get eliminated in the first round by Carolina? Yes, they do. Awesome. So that's a bit of a higher pick from the Florida Panthers. I believe the President's Trophy winning team, who we have there first, now is going to be in the late teens, maybe. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to the Vancouver Canucks, who are the Stanley Cup the Stanley Cup champions. Taking a look at the playoffs, as far as the tree is concerned, you can see Winnipeg bowed out in the second round, so that's going to be in the, I guess, mid-20s. Not too bad of of picks that looked pretty low in value last season. So taking a look, the whole West was a sweep. Everybody swept their opponent in the West. Over in the East, we had a couple Game 7s, 2 Game 5s. Pretty interesting bracket here. The fact that Columbus already made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's pretty crazy. They do have a lot of young talent, though, so credit to them for making it that far this early. So let's go ahead. We'll just sim to the draft. The playoffs are complete. The Marlies, who eliminated the Amherst, are going to be the Calder Cup champions, and the Canucks are your Stanley Cup champions, as I just mentioned. So let's go ahead, see how the lottery is. So the salary cap is 98.9. More importantly for us, the minimum is 75.9. So basically, we need to get to 76 on cap expenditures. And obviously 99 is the max. We're not going to touch that. But here we go. Here is the draft lottery. And we are going to stay at 2. Okay, sorry. I thought that said Toronto for a second. I'm like, where do we go? But Anaheim jumps from 5 to 1. We stay in the top 2, which is huge. We are going to get one of those 2 franchise players. We are just, that is exactly what we needed. I'm sorry I'm not as excited. But Gavin McKenna, the playmaker here, looks fantastic. Plays like Guy Lafleur. Obviously, Norbert Schotten is also really, really impressive. But we know for a fact that Gavin McKenna has X factors. Carry, shoot, efficient, balanced. I actually like that better. I like the idea of getting Gavin McKenna here. Now, he's not as physical, as Shoreborton. Yeah, he is bigger though, 6'179". He's just not got as good physicals or as defense, but he is a fantastic skater. They both have great hands. The shot, though, I mean, is A+ for both of them. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Norbert Schotten is the better of the two players. But let's take a look at the rest of the draft. Do we know anything else? We don't really know any other medium elites for certain. Do we know any? We do have a low elite here in Tuomo Ristolainen. Ristolainen here 3 years away, so definitely somebody I want to pin and keep in mind. Then yeah, our pick's going to be here in the earlier teens or the earlier 20s probably. So I think we're looking okay there. I would love to get a defender, but it doesn't look like we have any of them scouted to the point where I would be willing to acquire them or draft them, right? It does look like we have some goalies, though. Let's take a look at the goalies. We've got Tikhonov, Dainton, or Korolyuk. Okay, let's see. 91, so 88, 89, and 140. He doesn't look very good. He doesn't look very good, and he doesn't look very good, and he's 19. So probably will walk away with one of the goalies, maybe the Ukrainian, maybe the Polak. I don't really see any studs later on in this draft, right? We've done a much better job scouting, but it looks like defense is still going to be an issue for us moving forward. But taking a look at the retired players, Backstrom and Giordano, Lucic and Vlasic, and Jack Johnson, a lot of big names, over 1,000 games played for all of those guys. Glendening, Reeves, Sheehan, Riley Nash, Mark Pissick, Kruger, Bork, Buma, Hunt. Okay, yeah, so plenty of players that have played a moderate amount in the NHL are retiring. 2 goaltenders, really one of note, is Yaroslav Halak. Yoni Ortio is the other guy to retire. Taking a look at who is now a scout. Actually, it's Giordano is now a coach. Jack Johnson is now a scout. I'm very happy to have Jonas Enroth on the team as well. And then taking a look for us, the Toledo Underdogs. No coaches are going to retire, which is fantastic. We want to view the draft class really quickly because I know we are supposed to get Gavin McKenna, and we know he's medium franchise. That is huge, guys. I'm totally glossing over the fact that he's medium franchise. We've got a couple guys listed as busts with our late teens pick here. 3 years away, 3 years away, 3 years away. Aiden O'Donnell might be 2 years away. Evan Hendrick, 3 years away. I'd like to find a defender if possible, but I guess I might just have to trade for a low-end defender. Brooks Rogowski maybe plays like Jakub Voracek. The Polenchuk is the best guy we got here, and he's potentially 3 years away. Jaden Bales, 3 years away as well. I mean, I don't really know much about any of these guys. Maybe Caden Sawatsky. I want to take we'll just talk to him. We'll interview him. It doesn't hurt. Play style. Let's talk about that. NHL readiness. Yeah, you are 2 years away from the NHL. How does he? He's a defenseman who's 2 years away from the NHL. What's his greatest strength? None of this stuff really matters. This is just to get me a little bit of information about maybe a defender in the first round that we can use to just talk or to take, excuse me. And I mean, he's 34th, 1 bar medium elite. He's 2 years away. We know that for a fact. He told us that for certain. Maybe somebody we want to look at with that Florida Panthers pick, or excuse me, the Winnipeg Jets pick. There's also Tuomo Ristolainen, who is 3 years away but low elite. Looks quite good, honestly. The very, very balanced all-around player here. Very solid. I like that a lot. Then we've got Keaton Verhoef, Novotny, 2 bar medium elite. Ooh, this guy's 2 years away as a 2 bar medium elite. There might be some gems in this class, guys. There very well may be some gems, but I don't want to go like all in on a couple of these guys and then find out that they're just average or below average players. Let's see. This guy looks pretty good. Like Pat LaFontaine. I like that, obviously. Sienko. Yeah, this is okay, so we'll interview this guy as well. Just trying to get the gaps on the players we don't know. Just getting a little bit of information is huge, especially when they tell you it's for certain that he's 5+ years away. That is not what you want to see. I guess I'm just gonna ask him about his weaknesses now. What don't you do well? Probably shoot. You're a defensive defenseman that has defenses lacking? That's a red flag. Hello. Okay. So that is that. I'm probably done with the interviews at this point because I'm not willing to just waste your guys' time here. We didn't scout Biedrich Duras at all. It's not like it really matters. Maybe we could go up. I mean, there are so many forwards in these classes that, maybe Gustav Chubarov, if we could get up to it like number 4 and get him, or Nelson Shen, who we know as an X Factor, potentially as an X Factor. I mean, that would be great. Both of these guys are NHL ready. I'm only thinking of Chubarov just because it'd be easier to get up there, but we'll see. Our pro scout is calling. Let's just get into the draft here, guys. I'm going to save because I don't want anything happening in the draft. And then all of a sudden, we lose it, and then all of a sudden the lottery changes, and no, we want to get everything done. There we go. It's now time to enter the NHL's entry draft. I don't think I want to move up either with the Anaheim Ducks. I think I'm perfectly fine with that. The Calgary Flames, though, a team we had talked to plenty, has the 4th overall pick. So let's go ahead and talk to them, see if they would give it up, because then we would be guaranteed to get one of those 2 defenders. Calgary Flames, they probably are going to ask for a king's ransom for this 4th overall pick. Okay, nothing is happening there. So if I just offer a trade to the Calgary Flames for number 4 overall, maybe we can see potentially if we could snag it. I don't think our picks are going to be very highly valued, but I would gladly give him 26 and 28 overall to move up to 4. Trade rejected. It isn't where it needs to be. Okay. Rookie skaters. They want Geeky. They want Jekimovs. Wahlberg, Hellenius, Noah Ostlund is 22. Tyler Tullio. I mean, we're not talking much trade value at this point. Draft picks. Can I give them one of my 4ths? Like, I'll give them my 4th as well. Trade rejected. Could live with what you're sending us, but it's not in this deal. Is woefully insufficient when I consider what fair asking price is. That's to be expected, right? Taking a look at all skaters. Is there anybody here I would be okay with moving on from? Holy cow. Lambert is now an 85. That's why I'm getting all excited here. Kulik. Johnson's an 81. Hellenius. Maybe I give up. Wahlberg does not look very good, to be honest. If you here, I'll show you. I don't just take my word for it. Here, this is what he looks like. He's being propped up because that 5-star physical category is crazy. If it wasn't for that, he would not be as highly valued as he is. 2 firsts and Wahlberg for 4th overall. It's woefully insufficient. Okay, I think I could probably part with a 3rd here. Actually, let me throw in the 4th. See if that gets the deal done. No, it's not going to get the deal done. Do we have extra picks next year? I don't think we do, no. But, I mean, they want the 3rd from the Canucks. Maybe that'll be more value. Rejected. Yeah, it's not going to be there. Okay, what if I give you a 2nd this year? 2 firsts, a 2nd, and Wahlberg for the 4th overall pick is rejected. Man, oh man, they really don't want what we got going on. So maybe I call Philadelphia, see if they would be willing to negotiate for the 3rd overall pick, and then we'd have our choice of defenders. Draft picks, 3rd overall, no trades found. That's kind of what I figured. Okay, so, and then if you take a look at the draft class here, I mean, we could probably still get another medium elite player for our 2 first, right? All we have to do is basically get to 7th, and then Joe Aginla's there. We've got Ethan Belchetz. We don't know if there's any gems in the middle, right? Like Fitzgerald. Raphael Sandlak is 3 years away, but plays like Bergeron. Would love that in the middle of the draft there. So there are fallback options, but I mean, do any of these teams want to give up their pick? Maybe New York. The Islanders do. The Kraken, I think we're up here. The Kraken are 6th. No trades found. I feel like I should be able to get one of these deals to go. It is Schotten going 82 overall. Medium franchise. He does have wheels and relentless. Good abilities there. As well as sniper. So I'm just going to call a timeout because I am trying to wheel and deal. It gives me 7 minutes to do so. So let's just offer a trade to the Seattle Kraken for 6. I feel like there is something to be made there if we just go to Seattle and offer them something for they're listed as a seller, so they definitely are not going to want to give up this pick very readily, but they will like to. No, aha, no, yeah, 26 and 28. Propose that trade for 6th overall is woefully insufficient for what they consider to be fair value. That's fine. I will add in Anton Wahlberg. Hopefully that gets it to go through. Rejected is woefully insufficient. Oh, man. And then what if I threw in a 4th, right? It's still not where it needs to be at all compared to what they're being asked to give up. So clearly they're not going to want to make a deal. I think what we need to do is just kind of just sit where we're at. Maybe we could trade with Detroit. maybe this is just enough because they're listed as a conservative buyer, so they may have different needs and wants. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll just throw in Wahlberg. Trade accepted. All right, so we are going to get the 7th overall pick. Maybe now we can move up with the, I guess, Calgary Flames. 7 for 4, 7 plus something for 4. All right, I think they want it. They do, in fact, want it. 7 plus a 3? 7 plus a 3? Let me see if I can get them to do a 4. 7 plus a 4. Rejected. Value is too far off. I might be able to get it with the 3. 7 and the 3 for 4. Rejected. Okay, let's take a look. Is there something that they want that I'm willing to give up? They want Geeky. I don't want to give up Geeky. He's young. He's got plenty of room to grow. Jekimov's at 69 at 19. I would have liked to see him grow a little bit more. I don't want Jekimov's to be the thing that stops us from getting an elite defenseman. Trade rejected. Isn't where it needs to be. Okay, let me add in, what else do they want any of the goalies? Rotzloff, I don't want to give up. I'd give up any of these other guys, but they're not really moving the needle, let's be honest. A 4th, Jekimov's, and 7. Trade rejected. How about, what if I throw in the 3rd, Jekimov's, and a 7th? Rejected. Oh, my goodness. I'd throw in the 2nd here. Keep Jekimov's. Trade rejected, but it's not sufficient. Are you kidding me? All right, now I go ahead and add Jekimov's back to the deal. Oh, wow, they want a lot of these. Oh, duh. I was like, what's going on here? Anyway, they want Nizov. They want Greg. I'm fine giving up Gregor. I really feel like he's not much for us. 1st, 2nd, and Gregor for 4th. Wow, okay. Maybe I could get them to tell me what they want for their pick. Just keep an eye on the timer. We do have 5 minutes. Calgary. Actually, Philadelphia. Let's just, Calgary said no a bunch of times. Philadelphia. We now got a pick that you might like. 3rd. No. Okay. Yeah. They don't want to give it up. I feel that. Calgary. 4th. Anything? 7. Addison and Hickey. I don't want to give up Addison, but if they want Hickey, I'll give them Hickey. Addison doesn't really have, Addison doesn't have much value. Hickey is a medium fringe starter. I don't know why they like him so much. Would this go through? I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I figured I might as well ask. But Addison's got a good amount of value, too. That is one thing to note. He's 26, 82. I don't want to give him up because there's just, I don't know. We're not going to be able to find a guy like him. I'll see if I can do a 3rd Hickey. Trade rejected. Yeah, they really want that player. What if I gave him 49 and Hickey? Trade rejected. It's too far off. Okay. I've got 2 4ths. Listen, we're getting 2 top 5 picks here. Sweeten the value just a touch. We have a deal, boys. We have a deal. So we moved our 2 firsts and Wahlberg to go up to 7. And now we're moving 7, 2, 4, and 7. 7th overall, 2, 4, and a 7, as well as Hickey. And we got a deal. We've got the 2nd overall pick and the 4th overall pick in this year's draft. Done deal, boys. There we go. It's all set. I'm actually pretty happy with that. And there you can see we straddle the picks of the Philadelphia Flyers. But Gavin McKenna, 2nd overall, medium franchise. Love to have 2 medium franchise in a draft. And there we go. I got a trophy for it. But he is a 79 overall left winger, medium franchise. Actually decent face-offs. Good defensive awareness. Really, really good player. Would love to see his puck skills get a little bit better, though. He, to me, screams sniper. Maybe not. The puck skills do need to grow, though. Philadelphia, what do you got for us? They're going to take Shen, Chubarov, which means Chubarov, who is also NHL ready with shoot pinch. Looks really, really good. 2-way defender. Medium elite. Right shot defenseman who's a 79. We got the better of the 2. Shen may be a defensive defenseman and have shut down, but we got Gustav's Chubarov, who's got great defensive category. He is a bona fide 2-way defender. 6'4". Love it. Love it. I think it is absolutely worth giving up what we gave up to have 2 absolute studs to pair with Martoni. They're all going to play this year. McKenna, Chubarov, Martoni, Zadina. Oh, guys, we are starting to look a lot better than we did in the past. I mean, just take a look at this. Let's go just to the forwards. Wow, McKenna has full value. Yamamoto, Zadina, Lambert, Kulik, Rosen, and then probably going to play Martoni. And then, honestly, I think it would probably be Lambert, Zadina, Yamamoto makes sense. Kulik, Rosen, Martoni. Maybe Rosen shifts for Gavin McKenna. Actually, do you guys think I should play Gavin McKenna in his first season? Or is he not quite ready? Do we let him simmer in the sea? Defensively, we've got 82 Addison, 82 Lohrei, 81 Johnson, 79 Chubarov, which adds a huge amount of value to our blue line, with Ryan Murray still here for another year, and then Nizov. So honestly, that's a decent 6. I could see us going after one more young 80 overall defenseman, and that would really bolster that. I really think the last thing we would need is a bona fide starter goaltender, but hey, you never know who's going to be out there, or, who's going to grow for us. Really, really hoping for Wroclaw. But let's take a look at the draft class. Let's take a look at who's pinned in our remaining draft picks. Really, really happy to get a defender for us. We did pin Ruotsalainen, who was at 38. Ristolainen. I don't know why I keep saying Ruotsalainen. It's probably Tuomo. That's why. 38 and 34. We no longer have a pick in that range. We take a look at what picks we do have left. Bear with me one moment. And it is we have 59, 68, and 97 still left. So, guys, it's not like we sold everything to go out there and get a good pick. Maybe we will give up 97, but 58, what was it? 58, 69. Oh, God, I forget now. 59, 68 projected picks. Oh, my God. It's not even the right picks there. Thank you, EA, for making the draft board not actually line up. So I have to go into the trade screen every time. 59, 68, and 97. So 59 and 68. We got to see who's going to be there. Maybe some guys a little bit later on, but let's take a look at the draft class real quick. Just sorting by potential. Do we have anybody we want down here at all? Do we know a low elite? Yes. Tuomo Ristolainen. Do we want to trade up again and get another low elite playmaker? Maybe we do. We just kind of maybe want to take those swings, or do we need... I feel like we can always fill out the roster with average players, those underdog players. I feel like we need to go up to like in the low 30s. That's going to be tough to get, though. There's Duras, the medium elite sniper. So we really could have loaded up on forwards, right? With Gavin McKenna, we could have taken Duras, but I think we got the third best player in the draft by a long shot. I say a long shot, 2 overall, but hey, it's something. But maybe we need to go up into the low 30s to go after some of these, the low elite Ristolainen. Tuomo Ristolainen. Yeah, he's 38th. He's projected to be 38th. We probably want to get like the 34th pick. Caden Sawalski is 2 years away. That's really, really good. Let's see. So this is probably 33 for the Calgary Flames. Want to trade their second man. What do they want? Oh my God. Calgary's GM's going to just hate me after the last like 2 episodes. He's going to be like, dude, stop. He's just going to block my number. 35 here they want to get rid of. I'm cool with trading for that. Second next year, Nizov and Lemieux. They want Nizov and Lemieux. Gregor, Lohrei, Foot, Johnson, no. Foot, no. Geeky, no. I would give you, how about a second this year? Nizov and Lemieux. I like where this deal is heading. Let me see if I can give him the third instead of the second, because it's a this year's pick, so we'll see. Probably not going to get it to go, but I'd give up Brendan Lemieux. He's an expiring free agent, and then Nizov is already replaced by Chubarov, so trade rejected. Okay, so let me just offer the second this year. We're moving up in the second and giving up the rights to Lemieux and Nizov. Wow, is our second next year that much more? I guess it is that much more valuable. Yeah, you know what? We won't leave here with a lot of talent, but that's okay. Trade accepted. We're giving up our fourth in the deal. And we now have a chance to get Ristolainen, who's a low elite. Things we love to see. We'll sim the pick. Another player goes. Rubroek, 73, medium elite, 2-way forward. Joe Aginla, medium elite, 74 overall sniper. The Penguins get Belchets, a medium elite power forward. The Predators get Iorio, 69 overall sniper. Then, okay, Eastwood. It looks like Beastwood. I absolutely love that name. Beastwood goes to the Minnesota Wild. Preston. Okay, so we're starting to get into the normal picks here. Is there anybody in the middle picks that we maybe would have wanted to take? Had we known? Doesn't look like it. Kurtz goes. Fitzgerald goes. It doesn't look like too much that we missed out on by moving on to the middle of the first round. Now, there is some good talent. Oh, that's a whiff. Oh, okay. So, yep, it does fall off there as soon as we get to the late teens. We've got some top nines coming on the board, which I guess makes sense. Hedrick, there he goes. Yeah, no. So we'll just get up to pick 35. Who is available? And it's probably going to be Ristolainen. Sawalski there, but I like the idea of low elite Ristolainen being 3 years away. Another forward with elite potential. That's going to be the hardest thing to find, is I think an elite player. Low elite playmaker. 63 overall. That's not bad, and he's got decent attributes. I really do like that quite a bit. Sviatek is probably going to go with one of these next two picks. Verhoff. Sawalski, 71, defensive defenseman, low elite. That's actually pretty solid. That is a really, really solid pick. I just didn't trust it. But 71, he's 8 overall, better than Ristolainen. So that probably would have been the move, but I wanted to just bank on, we knew that Ristolainen was going to be low elite. All I knew is Sawalski could have been 74 and then medium top 6. So I think we're okay with where we're at. Let's go ahead and sim to pick 68. We'll take our goaltender, and then we'll be done with the draft. Gardner, Lincoln Gardner is 2-bar low elite. I just want to take a goalie because I feel like I have to at this point, just to kind of swing for the fences. Tikhonov, Dainton. I feel like, do I take the swing? Oh, he's 19 years old though. I don't like that at all. Who do I like the best out of the 3 starters here? 5 years, 5 years. Yeah, this guy's 3 years away. He could but I think the highest he can be is a fringe starter. Does he actually have, like, they say he's 3 years away, but he's a backup. How old is he? He's 18. Lincoln Gardner is 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. 3 years is crazy for a goaltender. Is he just going to be a high fringe starter? Logan Edmondstone. Kirill Tikhonov or Cyrus Dainton. I think I like Kirill Tikhonov a little bit better. I mean, he just rose in the rankings just recently. This guy's got no strength and no weaknesses. Yeah, he's got strength, work ethic, character. I guess that's a good sign. I'll take Kirill Tikhonov. Why not? It's another medium starter goaltender to add to the pipeline. He's a 48 overall. Sim to the next round. What I do want to see, did any other goaltenders go in this in this round? Gardner is medium elite. Oh my goodness. I should have taken Gardner. He's 19, sure, but medium elite would have been huge for a goaltender for us. Dainton is also a medium starter. He is better. I probably took the worst goaltender in this round is what it looks like. Did another goaltender go here? Oh man, I hate doing this. And it just shows the mistakes I make. I hate that. Taking a look though. Wow, the Calgary Flames have a ton of picks. They did get Maki, who's a medium elite defenseman. Any other goaltenders go? Let me see here. Medium backup. Grellinger? No, he's not who I was looking at. Edmondstone is a medium fringe starter. You see, he's 62, but he's a medium fringe starter, so can't always trust the NHL readiness. Okay. We do miss out on the medium elite goaltender. I passed on because he was 19. He's the #1 guy on the board. Does he have an X factor? I don't think he has an X factor. He was the #1 goalie, so shout out to who got him? It was somebody in the middle of the 3rd round here. Shout out to the Winnipeg Jets for getting another medium elite goaltender at 19, 60 overall. He actually would have been exactly what we needed because he's closer to being NHL ready. So, you know what? That is that, though. Let's go ahead and get to the extensions. So some moderately big news. Our coach is expiring, Avery Fitzpatrick. We might be able to pivot. I've got a lot of scouts to sign. And then there we go. So we have no goalies entering RFA. 3 skaters are going to be RFAs. And yeah, we'll be fine. Let's take a look, though. The first thing I want to do is take a look at our coaching staff. Where is it? Coaching staff. Yes. Has he developed at all? He's a B-. That is not good. That is very, very bad. I think I can upgrade the entire coaching staff. Avery Fitzpatrick, though, let's see. What did you like? Avery Fitzpatrick, just so we know. Yeah, that's bad. Forward line 1 is bad. Forward line 2 is better, right? It's just his defensive pairings hold the line in balance is just bad. So we're going to get rid of our head coach, Avery Fitzpatrick. Goodbye. Howard here and McKinnon, they're both balanced style coaches. George Howard, he's got really good power play coaching and good coach influence. So I think I will bring him back as an assistant coach. And then McKinnon, wow, he wants a demotion. Connor McKinnon is all C's across the board. And what does he want? He wants an associate coach. Yeah, associate coach is higher than assistant coach, so he wants to be promoted. You're not good enough to get promoted. Howard here, George Howard, I don't know, however he wants to say it. He actually wants to downgrade to a role that he's probably more suited for. Let me do the scouts and we'll take a look at the actual players. All right, it's time to re-sign the players. The scouts, I've given everybody a contract that I wanted to. Taking a look here, I think it's probably time for Rotzloff to take the mantle down there in Rochester and be the starter. Cal Pettersson's been here. Felix Sandstrom, he's been here. I think I can find a better backup goaltender anywhere. So I need to sign an AHL. I gotta write this stuff down so I don't forget when we get to free agency and come out of free agency with something we don't need. But we are gonna need a backup goalie and then a backup AHL goalie. So that is that. We'll just let both of these guys go. Release Pettersson and we will release Sandstrom. Let's take a look at now defenseman. Defenseman Chubarov is getting a contract. He is going to play. I'm not going to enter negotiation because, he's going to sign it, right? Boom. He's going to I accept your offer. Yep, it's a ZLC. He's going to accept. Addison Lohrei, Johnson Chubarov. So we've got left, right. That's fantastic. And then Jacob Larson and Cal Clegg. Honestly, Cal Clegg, do you want an AHL deal? It doesn't matter. Welcome back, Cal Clegg. You can go play in the AHL. But I'm going to go ahead and offer the contracts. You guys don't care, but if Novikov or Pullman get contracts. So I'll just update you when everybody's back. All right, so the signings were basically all done. I haven't even advanced the day, so not everybody has accepted their offer, but taking a look here really quickly, Lambert, Yamamoto, Zadina, all sitting at 85. That's likely going to be our first line with Kulik, Rosen, and Gregor, technically as our second line. Foot, Geeky, Martone as the third line, and then Kupari, McKenna, and Sanford is technically our fourth line. I do want to sign one or two forwards. Again, whatever we decide with Gavin McKenna, do we let him play in the WHL, right? I did sign him to his ELC, but he's got that eligibility to play in the CHL. We can let him cook down there for another year. I think Martone is probably ready to be in the NHL at 19. Get that year of experience under his belt. We could even let him and McKenna stay down in the CHL and then really just hope that we tank again, get a third elite pick, and then all of a sudden we're cooking. I don't know, but then the AHL is fine. So my plan is to get a fourth line forward and then one upside forward in free agency. Looking at the blue line, again, we need to go out there and sign some guys like Lohrei and Addison, right? The guys that could potentially grow and develop into what we need them to be. Lohrei and Addison are still going to be our top pairing with Johnson and Chubarov. Jacob Larson is probably going to be our seventh defenseman, so I'm hoping that we can sign two, maybe 80 overalls, maybe 79 overalls with potential. We'll see what's out there, but I'm actually pretty pleased with what we got going on here. So let's go ahead, sim through this. Nobody is going to decline their offer because we don't really have anybody expiring, but remember, we do have to get to 76 million, I believe it was. So we'll see if we can get there. And here we are, start of free agency. I know you guys want me to jump right in and take a look at the free agents and what high upside players are out there at 80 overall or worse. But I think what we really do need to do is sign an assistant coach and obviously a head coach. I cannot let this one slip. This is going to be a foundational coach, and Solnishkin looks pretty good, to be honest. 55% points percentage would be better than whatever we've had before. Does not work well with our scheme. Pinch shoot, balance shoot, pinch shoot is actually pretty solid, but let's see how he fits with the rest of the roster. Johnson, Foote, Kapari, Gregor, Larai. Lambert is the only guy that doesn't really fit with him. That's probably because Lambert probably is not carry, shoot, efficient, balance, don't block. But I mean, that is a perfect first line for us. And as a head coach here, what kind of style is he? He's a forwards coach. He's an offensive-minded coach. We need somebody who's just going to put up, get our team to put up points. AJ Hackett is not much better. Lucas Bradford, yeah, we don't really have a good team fit. Mark Giordano. Do we bring in Mark Giordano to be our NHL head coach? That would be crazy. I don't know if I'd necessarily call Mark Giordano an underdog by any stretch, but he doesn't look too bad. He wants to be the head coach of a small market devoted rebuilder, which is exactly what we are. Solnishkin wants to be a devoted small oh wait, that's what sorry. I'm an idiot. That is our current, that is us. We are it's probably behind my face anyway. We are devoted small rebuilder. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I'm just going to kind of throw a ton of money at him. And that'll be that. I mean, he won't say no because this is why I play with owner mode off. So those of you that watch my rebuild guide and are new and wonder like, why does he say to turn off owner mode? It's because I'm just about to give this head coach $9.9 million and it doesn't matter. So we're going to offer him that. $9.9 million is crazy, dude. And we also need an assistant coach. So let's see. Do we have anybody that's pretty, I mean, he's pretty well balanced here. This generalist, is he offensive? Is it balanced? Is it offensive? He's balanced, which isn't bad. This forwards guy is offensive and he's not the greatest teacher. But he's got a better power play, better offense, same defense, better power play, better offense, worse penalty kill, worse teaching, and worse coach influence. So I feel like for now, Mateo Matvechuk is who we want to bring in as our NHL assistant coach. Simply for the fact that better teaching means better ability for our players to develop and grow, and that's really what we need right now. So taking a look at the NHL head coach, I mean, A- teaching, really the best teacher out there is Mark Giordano. But I think right now what we need is somebody who's going to help get us to put up points, get that statistical growth, and really improve. I do need to sign a AHL assistant coach, so give me 1 second. And now the exciting part, guys. We get to sign a free agent. I know some of you find the coaching stuff exciting too. Don't want to rain on your parade, but we are currently at $54.71 million. Which means we're about 20 million under the cap floor. But taking a look at the goalies, Akira Schmid, if only you were an 80, my guy. If only you were an 80. But let's take a look at the potential. Jet Greaves could be down there for, Rochester, right? 25 years of age. Not too bad. I mean, there's Malek, but I mean, Jet Greaves. Why not? Right? Bring in Jet. 25. Offer him a contract extension. Give him a 3-year deal. Give him the max offer here. And there we go. He looks like he likes that quite a bit. He's going to accept right away. He does like it quite a bit. As far as backup goaltenders, there's Jonas Johansson, Matt Murray, Eric Comrie, David Rittich, Fedotov, Copley, Domingue, Hellberg. Okay, yeah. We definitely want to go with the best guy we can. Phoenix Copley. I mean, Fedotov, I don't know why they're the same overall. Matt Murray doesn't have the athleticism. Jonas Johansson, I think Jonas Johansson is the best one here by far. So we're going to offer him a contract. Give him a 3-year deal. And we're just going to, we'll give him $20 million. How's that sound, bud? I'll give you a 1.15 for 3 years, for 2 years. For 2 years, 2 years at 1.2. That sounds fine to me. That's not going to hurt us at all. One-way contract, and there you go. He's going to accept, and welcome to the Toledo Underdogs. Now taking a look at the defenseman. I just, should sort by potential first. Hinola here at 25, another guy a two-way defender that looks decent enough. I feel like this is the perfect guy to go after and to sign. So, let's give him a 2-year deal, right? See if he can keep him for another year. Actually, let me give him a one-way deal. And I'll give him 1.5 million, right? I know all this stuff gets 1.4 million. I gets adjusted up, but he will accept that offer. And there we go. We got ourselves another defenseman. Now, taking a look at overall, can we get an 80 overall? I mean, there was nobody with real good numbers, right? Nobody, I should say not numbers, but nobody with amazing potential left out in free agency, right? Best potential is exact top 4, which is not what I want to bank on, right? It's just not gonna. Nobody's gonna grow from that. Let's be honest, right? They're not gonna get the stats that are gonna get them to increase their overall. But let's take a look at these 80 overalls. Just maybe somebody for some leadership experience. Anybody really good? Trevor Van Riemsdyk is a defensive defenseman. Calvin DeHaan is a defensive defenseman, but he can actually move the puck. Matt Benning, Brett Kulak. I feel like, yeah, you know what? Calvin DeHaan looks good to me. Offer a contract 1 year. He's 35, 2.3 million. Why not? 2.3 million. And that'll be fine. Then we can even move on from him in the offseason. He can play left or right side. So there we go. There's our 2 defensemen. Any forwards with potential making it out there that I can sign? Oh yeah, there are. At Podkolzin, Vasily Podkolzin, Jacob Peltier. I mean, these guys are pretty solid. I mean, Peltier is really good minus the defense. Paul Cotter is a grinder. He's perfect for the 4th line. And then Vasily Podkolzin is a power forward. I want to go with Jacob Peltier. What is it going to cost me? He wants 2 years at 1.45. And I know it's going to cost me because he's an RFA. Offer sheet compensation. 1.0. As long as we're under 1.5, we don't have to offer anything. Under 1.5. So 1.5 or below, essentially. So we are going to go after Jacob Peltier. Peltier, I should say. I'll just offer him a contract of 1.5. Actually, he loves it. He's gonna accept it if I offer it. He wants to come play for the org. We don't have to give up anything. Why give him more? And yeah, no picks required. Perfect. Yes, submit that offer sheet. And he'll get back to me in a few days. I love that. And then, you know, even a guy like Cotter here is perfect for like just a 4th line role as a grinder. I would like to see a better defensive category. Who has the best defensive category that I can sign? None of these guys, of course. 80 overall. Alexander Wenberg. Alexander Wenberg has got the... Really? He doesn't look very good, guys. I don't know. I just don't see it with him. What about Trevor Van Riemsdyk? That's not what I want. Are we still sorted by defense? Yes, we are. All right, so we're back sorted on defense. Let's take a look. Wenberg, we already looked at him. Curtis Lazar. Curtis Lazar has always been an underdog, and you know he's kind of well-rounded. Ryan Poehling, a decent 2-way forward. Christian Dvorak. Christian Dvorak can really take faceoffs. Christian Dvorak is a great faceoff guy. 83 faceoffs. Curtis Lazar has, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Christian Dvorak. I feel like he's the perfect kind of guy that we could scratch or just have him ride out the year. I'm going to give him a 1-year deal, right? Because I don't want to clog up the team. $2 million, 1 year for Christian Dvorak. He should accept that. And there we go. So we got our 2 defensemen. We're going after our high upside forward. We're getting a 4th line forward. We got a backup goalie, and I need a backup AHL goalie, which I believe I did get. Jet Greaves. Yes, we did. All right, we got a head coach, an associate coach, and an AHL assistant coach. So, guys, I think we're pretty good. The only thing we got to do now is wait and see if Calgary's going to match our offer. It looks like Ryan Murray's being touted for a 3rd-round pick. Interesting. I love that personally, but I kind of want him to retire an underdog. We are going to get our head coach. Clearly, $9.9 million was enough to sway his opinion on the franchise, and Santiago Neal there for the AHL. Perfect. So we get our coaches. Love that. Peltier is going to accept my offer, and the Calgary Flames still have the opportunity to match. Cal Clegg in a 4th for 2/5. Vancouver. What are we doing here? What is this? Yeah, no, that's not moving anybody's needle. Okay, can we get... I just want to see if Peltier signs. Calgary Flames have chosen to match your $1.45 million offer to Jacob Peltier. They will retain his services. That is a bummer. A 3rd, a 6th, and Clegg for a 2nd and a 3rd? So what you're essentially telling me here is that a 2nd is equal to Clegg and a 6th? Am I crazy? I'm going to accept this deal. I get a 2nd out of the deal, and I don't mind giving up Clegg. So, all right, Vancouver, have fun with Cal Clegg. Interesting. All right. So I'm going to just review the AHL roster. I think we should be all set. I need your guys' take on the rookies. Martone, Gavin McKenna, and then Chubarov. I believe it's Chubarov's, right? Yeah. Anyway, the 3 rookies, I feel like Chubarov's or Chubakov or what is his name? Chubarov. I was right. Chubarov. I feel like him playing in the NHL makes sense. Partner him with a guy like Calvin DeHaan or Ryan Johnson even on the middle pairing, and then DeHaan and Heinola, right? Like, this is not a bad blue line. In goal, we've got Johansson and Daniil Tarasov. I guess I signed a starter. Right, Jonas Johansson is now the starter, so I completely missed that. And then, yeah, I think the forward core, right, we're just banking on some more internal growth. Maybe we give the franchise and elite guys another year to simmer, because, I mean, Martone did grow pretty nicely. Had himself a 95-point season, one heck of a season here. Really, really good year for him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But, I feel like the defenseman maybe stays in the NHL. Martone and McKenna, maybe one more year, because it's just going to be a bad team, and I don't want to stunt their growth with bad statistical growth, so one more bad year maybe and let the other guys grow. Or maybe we should start going after it, because Zadina is only going to be as good as he is for so long. So anyway, guys, I think that's that. There's not really any other forward free agents that I would want to go after. Forwards, yeah, potential is pretty much capped out there. High top 9 in Entwistle at 26, though, isn't really much for us. Not going to be much of an impact guy. So let's go ahead, check out the lines and see everybody's off-season growth and if the goals we set for everybody really did improve the team. Here we go, the favorite screen of this episode. You guys always love this part. Edit lines. Let's take a look. I do too, especially when everybody grows. Kulik, an 85. Lambert, an 85. Did Kulik improve his defense? He did. Look at the defensive awareness. Look at the puck skills. Look at the offense. I told him to focus on defense. He did, for sure. +5 to his defensive awareness this offseason. Stick checking grew a ton too. But the passing, the offensive awareness, the shooting is there. And for a sniper, we love that. Brad Lambert. Look at that. Didn't really gain much in the passing department, right? He was an 82, now he's an 83, but the offensive awareness is there. The shot is a lot better now. Defensively, he's pretty good, so he's a really solid two-way guy. And then Philip Zadina here, still an elite playmaker, got a good shot, pretty well-rounded. Is not the 88 we saw last year, but there is Gavin McKenna with his X factor. Does he fit? Carry, shoot, efficient, balance? Yes, he does. Would get us a +1 if we played him on the top line, but I'm almost thinking at 79 on this kind of team, let him play in the AHL, or not the AHL, the CHL one more year. Porter Martone fits the third line perfectly and gets a +2 with Dvorak and Foot. Geeky is now up to an 83 as a power forward, would fit the second line perfectly. We do that, we get a +1. Isaac Roseanne and Kyler Yamamoto flanking him. Kyler Yamamoto is probably a better fit for the first line. Maybe Zadina. Oh, we get a +2 if we move these guys down, right? Isaac, Roseanne, Geeky, and Kulik getting a +2. Do we want Kulik on the top line? That's more for you guys to tell me. And then McKenna for Kupari and Sanford. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with this team. We're starting to see it, right? We went from a bunch of like 70s. Now where we were last year, we were in the low 80s with Zadina kind of being the outlier. Now we've got 85s, 83, 80, right? It's getting there, and we've got young talent now. Taking a look at the blue line, Addison is 83. Ryan Johnson has grown. Heinola has grown. Chubarov yikes. Does not really fit with this coach. He is hold the line and cycle. This coach likes shooters, so we'll see. Lorai was our last year's +1. I mean, I think it just makes sense to play him with Chubarov. And then Calvin DeHaan. I mean, I guess he's a lefty as well. What we could do is Heinola and Lorai. If we get a + there, we get a okay. Yeah, these are the defensive pairings. This is why I traded up so much to get a medium elite defenseman. Gustav's Chubarov, I feel like, is just, we needed somebody like this to a medium elite defender to really, really help our defensive core. Taking a look at the goaltenders, Tarasov and Jonas Johansson. I mean, Tarasov, 78, obviously, like, these guys just have negative statistical growth. So it's going to be really tough, which is why I'm trying to spare McKenna and maybe Martone from that fate. Putting him, I mean, he would get a +1 if he centers the top line. That could be something. I guess playing him at center is just a good thing. I'm not sure. Lambert, I would like to play Lambert on the top line, though. As a low elite, 85, two-way forward, he's got the potential to really, really keep growing for us. Yamamoto's capped out. Zadina just about is capped out, right? We know he's a great playmaker. Love to see him grow a little bit defensively, but the second line is great. I like the third line with Martoni on it, getting the +2. Is it just better to have him down in the CHL or third line in the NHL? What's going to help him grow better? Because I don't think this team's going anywhere with this blue line again, right? Let's take a look at the AHL. Did anybody down here grow? Noah Ostlund. So there you go. There's your replacement. If we send Gavin McKenna and Martone down, Noah Ostlund comes up. Let's go ahead and head coach preferred lines it. Where is Konsta Helenius? Okay, he is a 79. So he grew pretty nicely. Victor Neuchev, Olivier Nadeau. We'll just do that. Yeah, Konsta Helenius with Noah Ostlund. Defensively, Novikov, Murray, Komarov, Rathbone. I mean, it's not bad at all. And then scratch. Do we have anybody scratch? Sean Day and Topias Leinonen. I don't know why he likes Panoka so much more than... I mean, Panoka, I guess, is 21. He's got room to grow, maybe. There's Jekimov's at 71. Like to see that. I did give him his ELC. Lucas Johansson, the defender. So that tells me I need to sign ourselves a forward here. So AHL forward is something I definitely need to sign. I can't believe we don't have him negative chemistry. And then in goal, Scott Rotzloff is a 76. And then Jet Greaves is 79. So these two guys got an opportunity to grow. I'm liking where we're at. Personally, I think I'd like to see McKenna and Martone down. The defensive side of things, maybe, because Chubarov has to play in the NHL or the AHL. Right, because he's coming over from overseas, played in Russia, so he's going in either in the AHL or the NHL. Maybe the AHL wouldn't be the worst thing for him. Play on the top pairing there, dominate, maybe make a deep playoff run, and then come up. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, but that's that for this episode, guys. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I'm hoping to see us start turning the corner and stop tanking fairly soon, but for now, guys, I think it makes the best sense for us to continue to acquire talent, let some of the young guys grow, and I think we'll be an okay team. I don't think we'll tank too hard, even if we send down the 3 rookies. I think we'll be an average team at best. I think our forward core is certainly better than our defensive core. That's really going to be the thorn in our side, so maybe taking a look at the draft class. You know, is there somebody? I mean, it's really early to look at the draft class. Can we though take a look at the draft class? We can actually already take a look at the draft class. You can see that there is the number 1 player in the draft is defenseman Shaw, Lawrence, Perrietta, Vasyunov. I mean, guys, I think this might be another year for another top 5 pick, top 10 pick. Might be really, really good for us to get another, even medium top 4 defenseman, just somebody else. So I think sending the rookies down, don't let them see this disaster class. We're not going to intentionally tank, and if we make the playoffs, cool. We'll deal with it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Because holy moly, there's a lot of different directions. We could start veering in the direction of winning, or we could start veering in the direction of just one more. I feel like one more year, letting these guys grow. But again, they're only going to be so good for so long, and eventually they're going to start to fall off. But I feel like we got a lot of young forwards. It's the blue line that needs help. Anyway, I'm done talking. It's your guys' turn to talk. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. If you did like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Stick around, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.
This a free for all before we fall. This a free for all before we fall. Took some L's, but I guess you can't win them all. Getting busy, been so busy, but always keep it lit.